Good morning and welcome to our first day of trading course. I will guide you today with a little explanation about what I see on my charts so that you can follow me in the next few days. You can follow my logic, you can follow all of my steps that I take to take a trade. So this will be a shorter video. This will be a more improvised video on how I look at the charts, what I see, what things I use. So without further ado, let's dive in. All right, what do we see at this chart? This is an ES chart. It is the E-mini contract. First thing we will notice is this price line on the right. We see a lot of different points here. This is the price. In the ES Mini, every point is $50 worth. So if it goes up in your favor 1 point, you will win $50. If it goes down, you will lose $50. For starters, if you are just new to this, you can trade the E-micro contracts, which are $5 a point. So it is 10 times less that you lose, 10 times less that you can win, but it's much easier to step in. We will also discuss funded trading in the next episodes. And funded trading is like a program where you can buy a certain account for a certain amount of money, and in exchange you get a SIM account where you will have to pass an evaluation and you get free money to trade with eventually. So this is pretty handy, pretty nifty. This is a weekly chart. I use this for an overview every Monday. I come to this chart, I look at this chart, and I can tell where we are in the market. So right now I can see that we are in an uptrend here. We are in a nice little uptrend here, and we are trying to get this high out of the way. So we bounced of it in a few days ago, and now we're going down. We're probably going to get some liquidity. I will discuss more about that in upcoming videos. This video is just a first information so that you know what I see and we can discuss and you can actually understand what I'm talking about. So this is a 4-hour chart. On the 4-hour chart you see some levels like this yellow line. This is the high that we previously spoke about in this weekly profile. So it's this line. This is another significant high that was taken out. I use these lines as target points. I don't use them for entries or exits because nothing is clear in the trading world. So let me get what we look at here are candlesticks. Candlesticks are actually a form of looking at price movement. There are different types of looking at price movement. I prefer candlesticks. You have your Renko, you have your pointed figure, you have Heiken Lashi. There are lots of different ways to look at price. I prefer the traditional candlesticks, and I prefer them on a timeline. Now, I only use the candlestick to look at the market. I will never execute of a candlestick, but that is just me. There are a few different types of traders. You have your technical traders who look purely at these candlesticks and who look at patterns, recurring patterns in the market, and that way they will try and have great exits or entries. Then you have your discretionary traders. I try to be more of the kind of guys who are in the markets every day and they kind of know by feeling when to go long or when to go short. So they are more experienced, and I'm not said that they are better or worse. It's just a different style of trading. Then is this what I do is like a hybrid kind of trading. I watch buyers and sellers interact, and I also watch candlestick patterns to form my meaning of the market. So this is a chart that I use the most. This is a 15-minute chart. I am not trading today because we are in the middle of this price range. As you can see, we have an A to B price range. We have this low and this high, and price is contained right in the middle of it. So for me, that is a no trading zone. We can put a help on it. This is a modified Fibonacci that I use to help me watch where price is at the moment. And you can see if we are around here, around this red line, this is for me is a no trading zone. It is a dangerous area of chopping. Now, for number 2, we watch the candlesticks. I will shortly explain to you what a candlestick is. You can watch this everywhere on Google on YouTube, everybody can tell you the basics of a candlestick. So a candlestick, like here, we have a 15-minute time frame. This means every 15 minutes a new candlestick is printed. So this candlestick is now printing. The other ones have already printed. Each candlestick has an open. Then let's assume buyers step in and they push the price up, but sellers disagree and they push the price back down. So then the body is formed. Voila. We have the body of the candlestick. Sellers are trying to push the price further down, but buyers are buying it back up. And then we have a close of this 15-minute time frame. And this is your candle. So what we can see is that we opened here, price got up, seller stepped in, got down, buyer stepped in, and we have a close right here. The next candlestick will open up here and repeat the same pattern or another pattern. And this is how people form their ideas of the market. I look very closely at these candlesticks because this is my area of expertise. The purple square here that I put up here is the Asian market. I watch the Asian market range to form my meaning about what is going to happen. So as we can see now very clearly today, price has gone up, reached the volume weighted average price, and then we would have a nice short right here. My target would have been somewhere around here if I had taken this trade, but I didn't, because this, once again, is my no trade zone. I will not trade here, even if I have the opportunity to make money. I have learned through experience and through trial and error that this is not where I need to trade. I will lose money here. Bang. Well, let's go over some of the tools I use. I use this 15-minute. This is a volume profile. A volume profile is a representation of where the action has taken place the most. 70% of the volume profile is lightly colored, so 70% of the volume of trades happened in this area. I will show it to you what I mean. Voila, this area has the 70% of all trading from yesterday, which means we are still in the middle of the price range, which means it's still a dangerous place to trade for me. I will not take trade here once again. Let's go over to my other screen so I can show you what instruments I use. So these are the instruments I use mostly. This is a delta volume profile where I watch the difference between buyers and sellers at a certain price. This is a ranged footprint chart where the left is also selling, the right is buying. These are aggressive market orders that I can see. Beneath here we have the volume delta, delta change, delta, cumulative delta. These are all things that are more advanced and we will discuss along the way. This chart is NQ. I put up the NQ chart because it shows a lot of correlation with ES and I form my decision making there. Let's get back to the other chart. So we are back on a 15-minute chart. I will show you another tool that I use. This will be on my chart all the time. So I watch, this is the time and sales. These are all the aggressive market participants that are coming in. In futures, you can see every market participant. You can have an open order book. That is this is the entire order book. So you can see every order hanging at every price point. And these are the aggressive market orders that are being executed. I can see pulling and stacking on this line. I can see volume on this line. And that way I can make a pretty solid entry. Like now you see here is 230 contracts just waiting to be filled. These are passive contracts. We will discuss the difference between passive and aggressive contracts in later videos. We will discuss everything I explain and we will discuss every tactic that I use in the upcoming videos. But to avoid confusion, I will put this away for a while. So now you know exactly what I see. I see the footprint. I see every buyer and seller coming in. I watch this candlestick chart for a higher overview. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, please leave them. If you have any suggestions to what you want to see And if you have any questions about how I trade, or how you should trade, or what you should do, please leave me a comment, leave me a like, and we will discuss it in upcoming videos. So this is this little trade that I'm in. I got in right here. Now I will move my stop into 3 points so that I am secured. Voila, I secured my 3 points. My take profit is at 5 points. So just to be sure, just so you know how a trade can go and how fast it can go sometimes. So I saw this little trade falling and I thought, oh, let's get on it. I knew I wasn't going to trade today, but I lied. So I'm just waiting for price to touch my exit right there. So now my target is filled. This was a 5-point trade. As I told you, 1 point on ES is $50. So I have 50 times 5 is $250. I trade with 6 contracts, which gives me 250 times 6, $1,500 that I made today with just one simple trade.